What is up, everybody? It's your girl here, Elisa Ray, and I'm coming back with another live interview with the one and only Phase One. Okay, last time I did an interview with him, I got a lot of support from the community, a lot more followers, and I just want to say I appreciate that so much from the bottom of my heart. I do have a podcast called Women Cheat Codes on all platforms. You can look it up in my bio. Um, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for accepting me into your community. And I don't know if you guys consider me part of the spiritual community, but I consider myself spirit, spiritual. And I know that I have a message to spread and either a message to spread or a message that will get delivered through me. So thank you guys so much. Um, so today I'm sitting down with someone called Phase One. And this is someone that I really respect, not only for his music, but for how he moves, how he thinks, and how he just keeps it solid when the world is not, okay? So this isn't just an interview. This is somebody that I personally look up to. So if you haven't tapped in yet, please do. His message is powerful. His music is fire. And his music is that type of music where it just has that grit to it, but it's not degrading women and making us kill each other at the same time. So that's why I personally love Phase One. So let me go ahead and ask him to join so we can get right into it. So if you guys have any personal questions that you want to ask Phase One, drop it in the comments. And if I see it, I will definitely ask him. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Thanks y'all, thanks y'all, thanks y'all. I'm so country sometimes. I'm from the Chicago area, Rockford, Illinois, but Rockford's my home base, but I plan on moving to Houston next month. So I will be traveling abroad. And yes, I love him too. I said, what do you guys love about Phase One? Because the first interview, I kind of didn't even know who he was. I was just kind of looking through his page. And then for the second interview, I did some deep dive. And I'm just like, okay, this man, not actually, but he has a lot of knowledge to give. It's just the vibe is unmatched. And I can't wait to get him on. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in. Come on in. All is welcome. Let me invite him one more time. So, yeah, but I am the host. Like I said, I'm the host of Women Cheat Codes. So, Women Cheat Codes is like unlocking the cheat codes to life. So, whether it's finance, spiritual, entrepreneurship, business, I'm just here to unlock the cheat codes to life to help us all progress to the next level, elevate, and just become enlightened overall because we live in a society where the world is just fucked up. So we need some help along the way, and it's just my spirits are guiding me. My ancestors have guided me to do this. So if you're here for a reason. Thank you for following me, and thank you for staying with me on this journey. It hasn't been every journey has its rough patches. It hasn't been perfect, but I'm here now and I'm ready to do this interview. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go get my other phone and message him personally to see where he is. And my voice is a little shot today. It's been a long week. I've been using my voice a lot. I'll just say that. So I'm trying my best here. But yeah, what questions y'all want to know about Phase One? So I'm going to ask him about a lot of stuff that I've been seeing about his haters on Instagram, downloads, celebrity plans, asking about the Diddy case, keeping up with the Joneses. Okay, here we go. Here, he just joined. Okay. I accept it. I accept you. Come in. I don't. I. Let me see. I invited you again. It says you're unable to join. When I invite you, I accept it. So we're just waiting for him to come on in.
How
Okay,
you doing there?
how you doing,
I'm doing
man?
my best.
How are you for real? How are you?
I'm like I'm doing the best I can. I'm in the same boat with you with the voice thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
I
okay.
do honey for that because I talk a lot of use my voice a lot. I just came out of the studio yesterday, but I drink a lot of honey when it comes to that.
I need some of that because my voice just been dry as hell. All I've been doing is
Hmm.
water. I
Yep.
just tried like a good week of just like silent to get my voice box together because you know been doing.
Honey and warm like tea, honey and tea. That's
Okay,
the main thing.
yep. I'm definitely going to make me some.
Hmm.
Thank you for joining the live.
Thank you.
I just want to get straight into it because the last time we did the live, you have a lot of support, but you have a lot of haters too who they
Yep.
don't necessarily attack. They get upset when you attack somebody that they follow in particular. So I'm just trying to figure out, does this territory or is it like a cult thing where people just do not like anybody talking about the leaders that they admire?
Yep. That's the main thing because if people pay attention, I'm not attacking anybody. You know what I mean? What I do is I call them for. I might challenge the things that they talk about,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't come out and come for the person themselves and say I don't like their shoes or I hate the car that they ride, all this stuff. No, I say this person said this,
Right.
or they teaching this. That's not valid, or what they're teaching is leading people to more confusion and
Right.
things like that. And my thing is, I give people the opportunity to come on the live and talk to me. Seeing
Mm-hmm.
where I'm talking to you, I
Yeah.
give people the opportunity to say, if you feel like what I'm saying is disrespectful to your favorite celebrity or spiritual leader or whatever, how about this? You come on and you talk to me. You
And you
understand?
know what? I'm so glad we're talking because I was
Uh
watching
huh.
your videos, and there's some people that you are talking about that I follow, and it's just like okay, like it just opened my mind because I'm like I like this person, so why and what red flag should I be paying attention to decipher who's a real messenger and
Yep.
misleading the people?
Yep. See, the main thing is it's not just you. So it's a lot of people that's doing that exact same thing. Is
Right.
a lot of people are new to spirituality. I think we talked about that briefly the last time we came on.
Yeah.
A lot of people are new to spirituality. They open their eyes up to this, that, and the third, and all this stuff seems new and exciting. So there are people who genuinely want to do better in life. They want to make sure that their spirituality is on point. They want to make sure they're taking care of their mind, their health, their very well being. And then
Yeah.
you have people that are going to run out to take advantage of that. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
Uh
So
huh.
specifically, somebody like 19 Keys. A lot of
Yes.
people follow him because
Mm-hmm.
claims to be a spiritual being, and he has a lot of people certain stuff along the way. And
Mm-hmm.
like, or when you attack somebody for something that they said, are you attacking the whole brand, the whole person, something that's misleading the people, or are you of like knowing that they're misleading their followers?
So the main thing, okay, so let's look at it like this. If you were to open up a shop, it don't matter what type of shop it'll be, a nail shop, a food shop on a specific street,
Mhm.
okay, with a specific brand, you talk about certain things, to your commercials are similar and da 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 da, and then you put out a certain product, and you have all these people that are coming there to it, right?
Mhm.
And then you got this other person that comes and they just takes it. Well, let's say yours is called Happy Salon, all
Mhm.
right, or yours is called Jittery Bread, and somebody else come and just say Salon Happy, and somebody else
Mhm.
come and just say Bread Jittery, right?
Exactly.
And they don't even change the color. They just kind of just finesse the brand a little bit just so people can come to them because they think that it's already working, right? And then you have people that are coming out and going to bat for you saying, wait a minute, this already exists. This same product, this same lineup, this same everything, except this person is overcharging y'all for things that this person put out,
Right.
right? And not only that, it's watered down versions. It's
Right.
not even the same as that type of product with the same potency.
Right. So you
So
people are taking from the source, the real spiritual community, and making their own to make a profit off of it.
there you go. You got it 100% correct. And the main thing, I test people to see whether or not they're gonna bear witness to that is I say, ask them about Malachi Z. York. When they get to talking, 19 Keys went on Breakfast Club and was talking to Charlemagne. And Charlemagne the guy? No. They went and talked about, oh, we had the Black Wall Street, but then we had this over here that came later and that over here that came later, and we need to keep building until we could do that again. And they jumped over what Dr. Malachi Z. York built in Edenton, Georgia, called Tom Ray, and I was there for that. I
It's
experienced that.
because they're lacking in that knowledge, or they're trying to hide
No, he 100% know. They 100% know who Dr. Malachi Z. York is, that he's been locked up in prison for something that he didn't do since May
okay.
8, 2002. And I was there to witness all of that, the conspiracy included. They 100% know that. But they
Right.
ran with what they thought was going to make them money, make them have glory. And he said all of this was going to happen anyway. Malachi said it was going to happen, that people were going to do this. The only issue here is 19 Keys is a businessman. We don't have a problem with people profiting off their business,
Right.
right? It's just that when you stop just branding financial literacy and being a life coach and motivational speaker, and you start mixing that in with spirituality, I'm gonna help your soul ascend. We're gonna have higher level conversations,
Right.
and
It's like holy water.
it is that it's snake oil salesman.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It's that same that is snake oil, where they literally trying to merge in something they don't even understand. You
Right.
start talking to them about actual ascension, they
Mm-hmm.
spiritualize it. When ascension is not a spiritual thing, you understand? Like, okay, take your hands and rub them together real quick, right? If you were to speed that up, like speed it up a little bit, okay? Right now, the molecules and atoms within your hand, including the hand itself, the hands themselves, they just ascended. You felt them get warmer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so heat, when you walk outside and you literally up under the sun and you feel the heat, the rays, you're
Okay.
ascending. Your molecules are moving faster. When you put water in a pot and you turn up the heat and then you see that vapor and
Mm-hmm.
those gases, that's ascension. Ascension is not a spiritual thing, it's a physical thing. It's literally a scientific occurrence where you're going from a state of more density to less density. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? You're becoming less dense.
Yeah.
So when people go ahead.
No, that makes sense. I was gonna
Mhm.
ask about download that certain. I don't know if you want to speak to certain people to give them more clout than they already have. But certain people claim that they have downloads from God, and it's just like people need to understand about downloads. Like, why are you using that as like a drive force for for their audience and and what is a download? Because can't we all get down with God?
Okay, so here's that. The Christian community lost a lot of people to the spiritual community
Mm-hmm.
because people that came from the Christian community or sometimes even the Muslim Islamic community, they thought that the spiritual community had different things to offer that would have been more truthful.
Right.
However, the spiritual community lacked the ability to integrate all those Christian community people with the bullshit that they was talking about. So what they had to do was they had to rely on some of the Christian people's belief systems and integrate that. They had to incorporate that into spirituality. So a download ain't nothing but saying, I'm hearing God talk or I'm getting the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is moving through me right now. You
Right.
understand that? Well,
Yeah.
then the reason why they're able to get away with it is because most of the time they're standing up on a platform talking to a group of people who are susceptible to whatever psychosis they pushing. And
Yeah.
rarely do you have it where somebody stands up in the crowd and said, explain it.
Have you ever done that before?
Yes.
How'd that go for you?
Oh, how did it go for them?
Yeah, I
You,
bet.
you see? Exactly, because then they can't do that. And then people, what they fear, people like 19 Keys and the rest of them, they know it. They see me coming, they block me. They fear not my question. They fear people seeing them not be able to answer it.
Right.
Because what do you mean a download? And then here's another thing. The spiritual community been getting downloads for years. And every download they get be wrong. And each of their downloads start from one of these spiritual community leaders. It goes viral, and then everybody getting the same download, and all of them be wrong.
How is
Now, if we're going to
it all wrong?
base it, go
Download.
ahead.
How is it all wrong if it's a download?
Exactly. It shouldn't be wrong if it's a download. Okay, you got Instagram on your phone, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, because we on it,
Yeah.
correct? So you had to download Instagram, right?
Right.
So if you type in Instagram or you tap the Instagram icon or app on your phone and it keep pulling up YouTube, something wrong, ain't it?
Yeah.
And then you hand it to me and say, yo, can you see what's going on with this? I said, let me look at this. And I try to type it myself and try to tell it. It keeps getting YouTube. I get the same thing. And we pass everybody else and we keep fact checking and peer reviewing. Say, nigga, this shit keep coming up as what? YouTube. It
You.
ain't Instagram. So then that download is faulty or it's off or it's false advertising. Or I prophesied that if you get this app, you're going to get Instagram, but you get YouTube, which means I'm a false prophet.
Or the download was coming from a false
Or
or
there you go.
was a
Or you
different.
tapped into something that will get it wrong
Yeah.
because it doesn't know the truth. So let's say, for example, you remember when they said black people was gonna get powers?
I do remember that. It was like on a December something, our powers.
Yeah. Okay. See, then you already know this stuff. Did
Uh,
y'all did we get powers?
no, not that I can tell.
No. The only ones you saw got powers was the niggas who be pushing their hand to make water bottles fall over.
For real.
And
I
everybody got the same power. You notice that?
mean,
It's so much power out there in the divine cosmos that when it was time for us to get ours, everybody got water bottle abilities.
it's like people don't realize the powers that we already have.
Come on,
Why are we looking for more powers instead of tapping into the powers that we already have?
because that's not enough. We want to be Avengers, and then only melanin dominant people were supposed to get powers. We want to be special. We want to be special without earning it.
Right.
Okay, melanin dominant versus melanin recessive, black versus white. That's a scientific genetic occurrence in reality in nature. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you inherently special though.
Yeah.
Because you can take that same gene and you can pervert it or mutate it over and over and over again, depending on whichever one you came in with. You
Mm-hmm.
can drink all the wrong toxins. You can eat all the wrong foods. You can not be out in the sun. You can be doing all the wrong things and all the wrong deeds. And then a generation later, you pass all of that information on to your child. And you thinking just because you look phenotypically like some chosen person with black skin or melanin dominant skin, that means that God has you in favor or the divine has you in favor. But
Do
what
you
does it all boil
bless
down to?
people?
Go
Do you
ahead, you got it.
support and curse people? Like
Huh?
people, do you believe in blessed people and cursed people?
No, I don't believe in blessed or cursed people. I know that our decisions we make will either yield favorable outcomes
Hmm.
or unfavorable outcomes.
So we all have a choice. We all have free will, and we get to choose our destiny. Nothing is. Do you believe in like predetermined destiny?
Yeah, I won't believe in it. I know it's a real thing that you can predetermine. You can determine before you get there. You get in your car and you have a predetermined destiny.
Right. But what if that same thing happened before we were born? Like this person was born a star child. This person was born a Beyonce. This person was born to live in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a form of a curse, couldn't it?
What, poverty?
Um. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah,
All
people
right.
would look. You got some who may look at that as a curse, and you got some who may look at it as a blessing. You got some who may look at you being born into stardom
Mhm.
as a blessing. Some may look at it as a curse. Maybe the star themselves may be like, I was cursed from birth to be this, because they don't really want that
That's
lifestyle.
that's where that dual reality comes in. Is just like however you perceive your life to be, that's
Hmm.
what your life is. So I do want to point out some celebrity industry plans that
Let's
we don't
play.
think of. So apart from Sexy Red, I think everyone knows at this point Sexy Red is probably the biggest industry plan we've ever seen in a lifetime. But who are some other industry plans that we don't think of?
Everybody that's in the industry that's signed to a major record label is an industry plant
Mm,
because they didn't get there without the help of the machine. The industry, the machine planted them there. So
right.
if you're signed to a major record label, UMG, Atlantic Records, Sony, whatever, you're
Mm-hmm.
a plant. They planted you in front of the masses for people to observe, worship, and buy into. It's a money thing. So
Yeah.
people try to say industry plant because somebody came out of nowhere. That's not always what it means. Sometimes they take time and they build these projects or products, and then they push them to you. Sometimes it elevates over time. They have to go and get certain sponsorships and endorsements in order for people to see them as big enough. But they still are powered by that same exact machine that people call in the industry.
So in essence, it's the whole industry. That's
It's
what
the entire machine.
the entire machine. So are there any record labels that aren't on that agenda, aren't pushing the agenda of drugs, sex, killing each other,
Yeah,
all this crazy shit.
yeah. They got it's a lot. Country record labels, there are R&B record labels. You know what I mean? There's plenty of record labels that don't push those, as you just spoke about.
Hmm.
The mainstream is more attracted to the excitatory, shock value type reality.
Yeah, that's
So
shock
that
value.
a lot of people don't know about those. But Justin Bieber for a long time was all he did was just healthy love music, innocent, da 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 whoop whoop. So and it even still with that, a lot of evil stuff goes on behind the scenes, even with the apparently innocent record labels.
Hmm.
You understand where they get the money from, where the money goes toward, what's happening with the people that was innocent at one point in time, and then eventually when they get out of contracts and they're no longer being handled like little dolls, you see them
Hmm.
go from Miley Cyrus to Miley Cyrus. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? What happened to Miley? And nobody want to talk about that. You see Chloe Bailey. Chloe Bailey was super innocent. What
What
happened
did
to Chloe?
happen to Miley? And I hate the way they're doing Chloe right now.
See?
It's so disgusting how one little, like, just motherhood in general, like, you will be
Mm-hmm.
scrutinized by the whole world by
Mm-hmm.
just being a mom.
I think you're talking about Haley Bailey.
Yeah, Haley. Yeah, not
Yeah,
Chloe.
I mean, those are the sisters though.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, everything that happens, anytime you see TMZ and the rest of them getting involved, that's that machine. It's
Mm-hmm.
propaganda. They're pushing it. Well, listen. When you say propaganda, you got two words: prop and agenda. It's a
Yeah,
prop, and it's an agenda behind that prop.
yeah. I'm really not. I'm really not feeling a lot of stuff right now. Even with I'm not on either side, Cardi B, whatever. But even with the whole agenda, Cardi B, her new boyfriend talking about BB, all this stuff. I'm just like, damn, y'all are so quick to degrade women, and it's just
Mm,
like, that's one of the reasons I have the platform I do now, so that women have a chance to speak and stand up for ourselves and have a voice because like we just get bashed in so many different angles just from being well known. And it's really discouraging for me. Like, do I want to be that successful just to get some pictures taken of me of my ass when I'm not looking right?
right.
Yeah.
So then your issue right now, you're saying that Cardi B is receiving flack for her decision to move on.
She no, it's her new boyfriend said something about her butt on Instagram Live, and now the whole world is just laughing at Cardi B.
I saw something about that. I didn't know that was a real thing.
I don't
Uh,
know if it's a real thing either, but it's real enough for it to reach thousands of views on every platform. So whether it was a lie or whether it's fake, it's just like, why are women too, and men, why are we not protecting these women? Why are we not protecting?
I think I see a direction. So what you're saying is, yeah, people, regardless of whether or not it's a real thing, a real statement, they said it or didn't say it, or whether or not it was actually true, people are so quick to jump on it
Hmm.
to attack women. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to jump on the hate to attack women.
I think one of the main things is power. I think we saw a little bit of that with Cooking with Kaya. You remember the Cooking with Kaya girl?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we saw a lot of that really, where a lot of people were just coming for her unnecessarily. And they
Hmm.
didn't know what she was going through. And then eventually she put a story out there, say, yo, I did this because I lost my sister. You know, I needed something to keep myself busy, da da da, woo woo. But the main thing was everybody was attacking her, and she didn't do anything to be attacked. She was doing really the bare minimum in relation to or comparison to what happens on Instagram with everybody shaking their behind all this other stuff. She do a
Right.
little way, but she cooked, and she was pretty. That's the main thing. But that wasn't even the problem. The problem was that the men were paying attention to her. So people perceive attention as power. And a
Yeah.
lot of time when women, from my observation, a lot of time when some women see other women getting attention, there's this jealousy. I think it
They
may
get
be
jealous.
rooted in nature because
Okay.
it feels like that's why they call certain women pick me's because it's all about the selection. It's all about the election. It's all about being picked. When you have certain courses of nature playing out where men do go out to find the women. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And women do dress up and they want to be picked and selected. Same
Yeah.
thing with this whole pop the balloon stuff like that. I
Right.
think it's all of that is just rooted in nature. Even human beings' entertainment is rooted in their nature or their natural behavior. So
Yeah.
I think it's natural behavior for certain women to
Hmm.
attack other women if it seems as though they're getting attention to tear them down. That's why you have the conscious community or more natural community attacking women who get surgery and things like that.
Because
When
they want
DC
men
Young,
to pick them. They don't want men to pick those girls. Pick me because I don't have
yeah,
what she got. I got natural or I look better or whatever.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mhm.
like the hate just comes to the territory, and it's just something I got to be prepared for, regardless. You know. Uh,
Exactly.
so, how do you feel about the Diddy trial? I saw this. I saw this post today by a rapper. She saying y'all hate P Diddy, but y'all still love your uncles. Like,
Mm,
you get the analogy to that? Like,
I
I,
do understand that. Whoever made that comment, go ahead. Were you finished?
no, go ahead.
Whoever made that comment is on point because it's similar to what I've been telling people that people will jump on just the Hollywood aspect of a thing. Where you
Hmm.
got the star, it's easier to target and attack the star, especially that you're not going to be able to be up and close and personal with them anyway. That's
Right.
why a lot of times you ever have somebody that they're talking about you and they literally smearing your name through the mud and then they meet you and it's a whole different thing and they're like, man, I didn't even think you was like that. Da, 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 da. I thought you'd be like this because it's an attack that they're sending out to an idea that they don't think they'll ever have to encounter realistically. That's
Yeah.
why it doesn't hit as hard until it's closer to home. And even still, you'll see how people behave with that. So what they're saying is, yeah, it's a lot of uncles that have done things in the communities and the families that people sweep up under the rug like it didn't happen.
Right.
Partially because they don't really know what to do. Another reason is because a lot of people are not as confrontational as they appear online. So
Hmm.
it's easier to attack and be confrontational with somebody online, but when you meet them in person or you got stuff going on in reality, you want to act like it's not happening. So
Right.
another thing is people just they were traditionally reared up to ignore when something happens in the family or keep it in the family. What happens in the family stays in the family. So
Right.
yeah, that now the only issue with that statement is Diddy is on a level that the uncle isn't. So the uncle is doing his own evils. Diddy's evils are amplified by the system that he's participating in. So he ain't just flying. You know, a lot of the rappers stepped up to do damage control and protect one another. Say, oh, I guess I got to stop flying my girls in then. Da 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 da. Y'all niggas know that that's not what they're saying. It ain't about just flying the girls in. It's about paying the hotels off so that they cut the cameras for certain occurrences. It's about paying your assistant to make sure that your assistant can get in touch with these ringleaders. And if you don't know what a ringleader is, it's like a pimp with a whole different degree. They're the ones who run the escorts through the pages and stuff like that, like Instagram, where you're looking at a model on Instagram, you think that she's just showing off her body and doing her thing. No, that's a product placement. The Instagram, TikTok residents are product placement stations where they put these models on there, they show off their body, they do their thing, and then they get DMs to from other what niggas in Dubai or people over here in Africa, and they want to participate in the ring. So then they got to send that to the ringleaders, and the ringleader send it to them, and then, so you can pay off people that it seem like it's not associated with you. You see
Mm.
what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
buy into the game. That's what a lot of these people did.
So,
So go
it
ahead.
has that is that connected to Pizzagating? Like, is there any connection between the Diddy and the sexual abuse of the young girls and casting all that to
Yes.
children too?
Yes, listen, if you can see the tip of the iceberg, the rest of the iceberg still exists. You understand that? So if you see Cassie running down the hallway trying to flee, right? And then he don't just run down the hallway arguing, he beat on her
Pizza.
and make her go back to where she was.
Yeah.
That's a handler. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So Cassie could have been literally attempted to flee. And then you have the media that's going to make it seem like, oh, it's just about the beating Cassie thing. The abuse of Cassie was monstrous. What people will ignore was Cassie talking about the trafficking that happened, not just from her, from other women.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Involving other women. So yeah, it's not just the Pizzagate thing. Look, when they do stuff like that, they'll call it a hoax. It becomes a conspiracy, and now
Mm.
you're not just talking about human trafficking. They put a name on it. It puts it up under an umbrella of conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So now people don't
And
want to
that's
talk about human trafficking.
sweeping that shit under the rug by putting it labeling.
They just did that. I told people they were going to do that with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. They
Mm.
just did that. And the masses expedite that. When people jump on certain wagons and they don't know what's going on and they just want to run with it,
Right.
you'll expedite them sealing up their own crimes. Because
Mm.
now the FBI is like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about when you say Epstein's list. Everybody knew what they were talking about. Everybody always knew. They knew about the flight laws, the client law, all of that. But now, because it's become a part of a conspiracy branch, it's easier for them to say, oh, we don't know nothing about that. And then what happens? They'll snip a clip from Trump talking about, oh, we don't want to talk about these guys been this long. They won't run the whole clip. The rest of the clip was that lady that was sitting there in the blue blazer. She went in more detail about what happened with the case and what happened with them 10,000 files and why it's not being released because it had certain types of videos on it that not even legal
Yeah.
on the web. And you see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what should be the number one thing that we should be concerned about with Trump being in office right now?
The number one thing that I would say people would be concerned about due to Trump's presidency is the paranoia, the propaganda, the political wars that will lead people in your communities to perform certain ways, behave certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Trump himself is no threat. He's no more of a threat than any president that ever came through.
Right.
There's whole Congress members and all kind of other stuff that comes into play with that. And then you got the ones above all of them.
It's the entitlement, the confidence that he gives to certain people to act against other people in the community, in the country, and that's where the divide comes
Yeah, Trump doesn't give them that. You know, the media gives them that. The
from.
media made a Trump. Okay, when you think of a Trump supporter, what do you think of?
Of a Republican, I think of a honky. I
Oh,
think of
see, okay, see,
or educated
uh-huh.
and who just prefers some of his policies.
Okay, see. Now, most people wouldn't have went to what you went to about the educated black person that just prefers that, right? With the policy, most people think that the nigga riding around in a pickup truck talking about some yeehaw, right? Or like you said, the honky. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's
So
what comes to mind. So that's the propaganda that they're portraying.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I remember one time they were sending text messages around to everybody's phone saying,
Mm-hmm.
be careful, it's men riding around in pickup trucks and they rounding people up, da 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 da. Woo, woo. Paranoia. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That propaganda causes paranoia and fear.
yeah,
Remember, they were saying there was a Project 25. Remember, we were supposed to all be slaves by now.
yeah,
It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be impactful. And if it's impactful enough to lead you away from their opponent, then
mm-hmm.
that's how politicians win. They don't care nothing about what's going on in our community. Trump can't affect our community directly. The media does.
Right,
Now,
and
the most effect that Trump could probably do is probably try to tell a nigga what's going on,
right,
right? And you got some who gonna listen, some who not gonna listen, because he the main one who does that. He'll just tell you like it is. He don't come on scripted and none of that.
right.
You see? So yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at your page and you say that you said something like y'all haven't sat down with the real spiritual community. Y'all haven't sat down with them months. So, like that, my eyes are like, what do you know? Where have you been in
Yep.
the leaders that you follow?
Yeah. So where I've literally been up close and personal with what it looks like when you actually apply all this spiritual stuff. Okay. Remember I told you about Tom Ray. I don't know if you ever heard about that. You ever heard about the pyramids that was in America about 20 some years ago
Yeah,
that somebody built?
tell me about that.
Okay, people talk about the pyramids in America, but they don't talk about the ones that were just here
Mm,
before the government came and destroyed our land. I was on that land, right?
okay.
They were built and orchestrated by Dr. Melikazi York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we talk about becoming Muslims and people being around Muslims and Islam. We're not just talking about it from a book standpoint. We actually went and prayed with the Muslims. We took and put on the garb. We walked with them and talked with them. We know their customs and everything. So if I ever say I want to talk to a Muslim brother, I can talk from where they're coming from. Same
Yeah.
with the Christians. Same with the ones who call themselves spiritual now, was just New Age Hindus and Buddhists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who were the original Hindus and Buddhists. So the main thing was when you start pursuing information,
Mm-hmm.
you automatically put yourself in a position of I'm ready to receive.
Right.
You don't have the I know everything mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So spiritual people went from they want to learn something to I am source, I am the information, I'm getting downloads and divine ether, I don't have to study anymore.
Right. They don't have to learn anymore. They don't have to go to the source anymore because they feel like they learned enough to, it's like when people, and I do it myself too, as soon as you learn some information, you automatically share it with the world. It's just
Yeah,
like, that's like natural, but sometimes you just got to slow down, get the whole story because you
yeah,
can be real stupid.
yeah.
Just
And there's
sharing.
people out here that's waiting. That's what I was saying. They grab people like Rashad Jamal, the rest of these people. If they say something that doesn't make sense, they
Mm-hmm.
love when that happens because then they can blow it up in front of the rest of the world. Say, see, these people don't know what they're talking about in that particular community, which is why I tell people Don't call me conscious community. Don't call me spiritual community, any of that. You don't even know what that is. The
Right.
thing that I'm doing is attempting to show people what it actually is or was before it became infiltrated. And I don't understand for the life of me, I can't comprehend it. Why does the spiritual community and the conscious community think that they're exempt from being infiltrated or counterintelligence programs? Why do
Hmm.
they think that the government doesn't know who they are? That they can't send in plants to your community? And then the main thing they hit me with is say, you're a plant, you're an agent. I said, well, then why does my track record go back to, I'm 26 now. Why does my track record take me back to 10 years old? And you'll see me on the internet talking about some of the same stuff that y'all just now started talking about, and y'all aren't even talking about it in full. Why does my track record show that I never steered away? But I go to y'all people, these 607 aunts and the rest of the people that y'all are saying are like chosen, and we
Hmm.
go back and we find them out there in Babylon, helping to perpetuate more of the negative images and stereotypes before they came over and acted like they was just getting divine downloads. And then when they got over here, the things that they teach don't check out.
You
You
know,
see what I'm saying?
I do. I do. Sometimes I feel like the whole fucking world is on fire and a mess. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes I feel like we are gonna have something happen to wake people up or someone come to wake people up. Do you feel I don't know, I just have this feeling that
I
we're
agree with you.
in.
I agree with you. When people get to talking about World War III, I don't fret. When people get to talking about CMEs or coronal mass ejections or solar flare, I don't fret. When people get to talk about earthquakes, I don't fret because, like I said, I agree with you. Sometimes I think it may have to be that way. That some type of major catastrophe or catastrophes had
Mm.
to occur before people start going back to who and what we are or what we could be as human beings. Not what the machines are telling us we are, not what AI agrees with, not what the algorithm tells you you must be in order to be accepted. All of that is causing people to lose their minds. And it's been like that before the internet. We can't blame the internet. Human
Mhm.
beings been off their rocker.
Right.
I think it's possible that it may require certain things like that. And if like you said, somebody coming to do it, if I'm a part of that,
Hmm.
then I just do my part as that event. Because it ain't even about my identity at that point. It's about
Yeah.
the event that's taking place that's causing people to right themselves.
Hmm.
They ignored Dr. Malachi York and everything that he brought, then I already know what they would do to me. So I'm
Right.
not even focused on whether or not people are going to accept me. If they don't accept it, we let them go. The main thing I'm speaking on is that we do have an opportunity. All of y'all who want to be spiritual, the best thing you can do right now is unlearn everything you think you know
Hmm.
because it's all wrong. It's
And
been infiltrated. Go ahead.
how do we unlearn something that we know? How do we do that?
It's okay. So that's a great question. It's really an oxymoron because you don't really know it, so you have to unlearn it. Meaning you didn't really learn it. It's a way of saying go back to the drawing board. You
Mhm.
think you know what spirit means because you heard somebody say breath, right? Oh, spirit means breath. I'm spiritual. That doesn't make sense. Then that means everybody who breathes
We're all
is
spirit.
spiritual.
We're all
You see what
spirit.
I'm saying? Including the white folks. You got to get rid of the reverse racism or just racism. Take off the reverse. You got to get rid of the racism or prejudice. Okay? We're dealing with a world right now where you got all these different groups of people. There's a melting pot. All right? Everybody wants to do better, some type of way, or spiritual, all this other stuff. It can't just be melanin dominant people or black people, because if it is, then you're going to run into another problem where you think that because they're your skin folk, they're your what? They're your kinfolk, or that they're your family, or that
Yeah.
they got your best interests at heart. So
Because even if we go back, we were still like a tribal community. So we all don't have to get along. We can
there you
all
go.
have different belief systems and just not fuck with each other. But it's just
There
like
you go.
tribe in a
Yeah.
world so isolated in a world that's basically digital.
Yeah. So look at the people in our community. Check this out, right? Let's say if we deleted all the Caucasians, the government, and everybody, how many people you think will be skillful enough or knowledgeable enough to survive after that happens?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
So even the systems in which we would need to survive or learn from to survive, that these governments have built up over time, or even the people who they call the ancestors have built up, we're right there in the middle where a lot of us don't have that awareness. A lot
Mm.
of us don't have that know-how. So we're going to have to learn to get along with certain people who, you got farmers over here, you got people over here to do this. We're going to have to learn to get along. All of that spiritual thinking and wishful thinking of deleting the disagreeables or the evil people all in one snap, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I, I do want to ask you about Dr. Farrakhan.
Okay, you got it.
So some figures are bigger than life, and whether people hate them, we really don't know all the facts on a figure that's that big. So, but I don't, because Dr. Farrakhan, in my opinion, just spreads messages of light and put together. But where did he go wrong?
I'm not going to say well Farrakhan went wrong. I would say that there are people who have concerns about Farrakhan's leadership, just like you would have concerns about any leadership. I'm sure there's people who have concerns about Dr. Malachi York's leadership.
Right.
My thing is, when the elders become elders, regardless of what happened in their younger lives,
Hmm.
we would love to see them stick together more. And in Dr. Malachi York's situation, where he was attacked by the government's machine and in prison, he's been in prison. May 8th of this year was the 23rd year. Farrakhan came out and said that they locked Malachi York up on trumped up charges to take him down. So then Farrakhan knows what the system did to him. And
And
that's
he
one
got
of,
in
if
my
not the most important person in this entire movement, is one of them. And if we're going to leave him behind, or if they're going to choose to leave him behind, then what does it say about the integrity of the movement altogether?
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say where he went wrong, because for one, that's my elder. I respect Farrakhan and I respect his position, and I don't want him to be an enemy. Okay, not because I can't function on my own without that. It's because I would rather the NOI and the rest of the people who follow. If he walks left, then that foot gonna go the same direction. You know that, right? So
Right.
if Farrakhan makes anybody out to be an enemy, okay, like if he was in his more hothead days where he said people like Malcolm was worthy of death, we see what becomes of them. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I don't want necessarily anybody to be an enemy of Farrakhan. However, I do want people to stand up and ask these leaders questions, saying, what happened to the brotherhood, right? Not even just the brotherhood or sisterhood. What happened to that family mentality? We all gonna stick together regardless of what you got going on over. So where did he go wrong? I don't know. That's between him and his God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's between him
Yeah.
and Allah, because that's who he believes in.
Yeah. It's like Larry Hoover. You
Mm,
never talk about Larry Hoover, but I heard of Elijah, who's keeping his name alive even in prison. So I give
mm,
brothers behind, even on the field and war. It's not a good look. It's not a good
yeah,
look. Keep one behind that
exactly.
mantles everything.
Exactly. It's the same thing like the Lilo Stitch thing. Oh, remember that Ohana means family, nobody get left behind?
You know,
We could
nobody.
have learned a lot from that. I'm listening.
No, I said that's my favorite movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Yes,
You
sir.
saw the new one that just came out?
Yeah.
You weren't rocking with it?
I mean, it was not as it was definitely not as good as the original, and
Exactly. I agree.
yeah, it was pretty much exactly the same, and they left out a good few parts. So
Yeah. Yeah,
whatever.
I think they tried a little hard to
Yeah,
do that. Yeah.
yeah. Just keep it simple. Keep it
Keep it
Disney.
simple.
We're good with the '90s Disney and
It
the
wasn't broken. Wasn't no reason to fix it.
yeah, y'all doing even the way look now. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so why are you okay? So are you more so passionate about exposing false truths or spreading a message? And if so, what is your trying to spread?
People will be surprised to know it's not even about the message. I care about people maintaining the integrity of their automaton, their brain.
Mm-hmm.
I care about people maintaining their ability to think for themselves without rendering it over to somebody just because they're charismatic or you like how their product smells.
Yeah.
So the messages can change. The message can change tomorrow. Everything I'm saying, that ain't even what I care about. The main reason why that may be a target is because people just listen to a message and they
Mm-hmm.
run with it. They
Right.
don't look into it. They don't check it out, back check it, fact check it. They don't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So my main focus is people maintaining their psychic self-defense, not just letting any and everything get into your brain and changing who and what you are.
Right. So
And
you
when people
that
show up and they doing that,
you can be like that whisper barrier for people who stay in the spiritual conscious community
yeah,
and making people double check.
exactly.
Make sure these people are valid because I'm not gonna lie, when I met 607
Yeah.
I he was like the first kind of like somebody who's doing something who got followers and stuff. So it's like
Mm,
every like kind of celebrity shock around me and I'm just like,
mm,
I'm gonna play it cool in the interview. I'm saying I'm not gonna give him too much because I know people like that. I know who are just like forceful like that and try to push their agenda on you, and they have
Mm.
word game, got good tongue game. So it's like
Yep.
talk to like a pimp. Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds nice, it sound real smooth, but if it's just probably too good to be true, if it sound that damn good.
Mm-hmm. I would tell you this, especially coming, and you probably figured this out anyway. You could do one interview and blow up tomorrow, meaning like literally blow up. The only man it could be this, right? It could blow up tomorrow, right? Or it could be you could be doing an interview with somebody that don't have any following, and
Mm,
because you took that interview, there was a viral moment and it blows up. Only thing you have to be in position to do is be ready to handle that and everything that come with that. Like you was talking earlier, say you spoke affirmatively. You're like, okay, I got to get ready for that. I guess I'll just have to accept that comes with it.
yeah.
So I see what you're doing, the platform you have,
Mm-hmm.
as way bigger than what a 607 uncle anybody could ever amount to. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying?
I'm in it for the long run. I'm here
There you
to,
go.
yeah, I'm here to deliver a message about
Mm-hmm.
whether I make mistakes on the way or not. I don't mention, so
Yeah. Yeah.
just
All you will be adding on is degrees. You'll just keep getting more degrees. You ain't even gonna make mistakes because you set your foot out to do a thing. It's
mm,
just gonna be like, okay, that degree teaches me not to do it that way. Okay, I just got another degree. I tried to bring this person on because they promised me this, da 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 da, woo woo, and they didn't do what they said they were gonna. Okay, well then that degree teaches me not just to accept that if they say that.
yeah.
You see, the main thing I'm telling you is, even myself, I tell people this because I got a book called Rehab, and in the book Rehab, I did a whole breakdown and explained about how certain leaders can come and win people over.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be charismatic. You'll know how to speak. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You'll have a mouthpiece on you. You'll be able to crowd control. You'll
Mm-hmm.
know marketing and all this other stuff is strategist and all that.
Yeah.
That doesn't
All
that
this
doesn't make you.
easily accessible now, so that you can like
Yep.
uh build a spokesperson. You can build somebody that people are going to follow based off the truth
Exactly.
they've learned, not from like natural authentic. I
There
have,
you go.
you know.
Yep. So then people, the only challenge at that point is to figure out, use your discernment if you want to call it that. Figure out where people are going.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the message. It's
Right.
where are you going. You can have a great message walking me straight off a cliff.
Right.
Where are
It's
we really
so
going
good.
with
You can
this?
put it on your wall. It's the best quote in the world. It's gonna leave
Exactly.
you with.
And how am I going to apply it?
Right.
You see? So when people get to talking about extraterrestrial Arcturians and Pleiadians and
Mm-hmm.
Draconians and they all out there, okay, what do I need to know this for?
Right. Like,
You see what I'm saying?
you
At
just
this
screwed
point.
my head up with your thoughts. Like, my head was perfectly fine until you just intruded my shit with your stupid ass.
And now where do I go from here? That's why a lot of people are going right back to Christianity.
Mm,
You might see more people doing that. They just going back to their religion. They say, man, forget this. I'm going back to being.
this shit's
It was a sister I saw, know her since seventh grade. She was super spiritual, tarots, the crystals, everything. But
right.
now she's on Jesus, 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 because there was nothing.
Yeah.
If there was really something, people wouldn't be going back.
Mm.
You
So,
know,
what is it about Christianity that is solid?
it's not that it's solid; it's familiar, and their thing is, and it had more to offer to them. They got buildings, they got churches, they got actual places they can go, and it's more in their family, not just familiar, but it's in their family that people do this, so they get more acceptance and support and
Mm,
all of that in their beliefs. If they want to pray, they nobody gonna be making fun of how they praying. They can pray together. They go to somebody, and it's more camaraderie, as opposed to this individualized community of everybody thinks they're God.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's falsified identity, falsified ego, all this false fake, everything is illusionary,
Mm,
right? It's not saying that Christianity is real. It's just saying there's more of a foundation that people can go and depend on, as opposed to being out here getting done wrong and all this other stuff, and it ain't even family that's doing you like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see?
Uh, yeah. No, that definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out because, like you said, I know people want more power. They want to feel more powerful. Aside from rubbing your hands together and sitting
Mm-hmm.
in the sun, how
Yeah.
do we activate that kind of God power feeling within us without looking on the outside, looking in, without? needing affirmations or
Mm.
you affirmations of listening to like self positive stuff.
Hmm. Okay. One of the main things, which is what I'm doing now, fasting, right? Not not eating food for X amount of time
Mm-hmm.
because it's such a primitive necessity, instinct to eat food. You say, since we were younger, we need to put stuff in our mouth so that we can have nutrients.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you can literally smell food, but you're on a fast, and we done 9 day fast, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't eat anything for 9 days. That's the most days I've done. Some people have done, a lot of people I know have done more.
Right.
When you can decide not to do something that's just as simple as eating, then you're tapping into your willpower. So
Yeah.
that willpower is going to it's going to traverse many different fields. The willpower going to be the same when somebody come up and say, yo, here go this one gold water thing that's going to change your life forever if you drink it. And you
Right.
go look at it and you say, I'm good, I'm fasting. I'm fasting from bullshit. I'm not trying to say gold water. This is the first thing I thought of, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fasting from bullshit, right? I don't know why I did this. Maybe it is. I don't know. But this is the first thing I came to mind. I just want to make sure that's clear. I wasn't targeting the Pill brothers and the rest of them. Or somebody come in and say, "Yo, if you take this ideology and believe in stars saying who and what you are, if you are a Capricorn, then everything will be all right." And you say, "I'm good. I'm fasting." You see what I'm saying? Yo, real quick, before you go anywhere, I just want to tell you that only black people have carbon in them. You say, I'm good, I'm fasting.
Yeah, I'm good on
Right?
that.
You
Yeah.
remember that? Remember when they said that the phones, when the emergency broadcast system was going out, that you weren't supposed to have your phones with you because it was going to turn you into a zombie, especially if you got an what do you call it, inoculation, a vaccination?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, yeah. Did that happen?
I mean, maybe in a different world, maybe we're living in a whole different universe where it did happen.
Yeah, that's very considerate of you for them. Maybe in a different world. It happened, right? But this one, the we in, I'm good. I'm fasting. I'm even good on what you just. I'm just fasting.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm telling you because a lot of people ran with that and they thought that these people were trustworthy. And then when I was on live when it went off, it was a regular Amber Alert sound. But everybody was on my live saying, "Yo, man, get off live! Hurry up, it's coming." It is a regular sound, the same sound you get when it's a flash flood warning, severe weather storm, all of that. It is a
Mhm.
regular thing, and everybody ran and was niggas out there in the wilderness. Why are you in the woods? Because you heard what somebody said. I'm good. I'm fasting.
Oh my God.
You
People
see, and you ain't gonna just let people ideas get in your
fear,
brain.
fear will make people do crazy shit. That's
There
for sure.
you go.
It's like
And,
they're trying to scare us. Like they say, my generation, the
mm-hmm,
millennials, are fucked up because
mm-hmm,
every TikTok, every time you go somewhere, it's just some world catastrophe happening, people dying, starvation. Like it's just something always happening. So it's like now we are kind of immune.
mm-hmm.
Some people are just immune to all the chaos because it's like, okay,
Yep,
well, fuck it, the world gonna end.
yep.
So
So they figured that out. So that wasn't enough because okay, they realized people became desensitized to the chaos. They said, well, we just gonna make people create chaos in their own brain.
mm,
Now you got literally people that'll greet you and be like, peace and chaos. Like, what? Wait, what you just say to me? I said peace and chaos. Why would you do the other part? I get the
right.
peace. Why do you want chaos? Life is already as chaotic as it can get. Why the fuck do you add more chaos? Well, I'm just trying to balance it out for you. No, stop doing that. Put your hand down. You,
Stop doing
you
that.
just cursed me.
Yeah, literally, you just cursed me. I say chaos. Ain't no chaos over here.
I didn't need it. I got enough curses. But
Uh,
they repeating other people's stuff. That's not even balanced for one. That's a whole nother thing. But it's so, I'm good. I'm fasting.
right.
That should be everybody's. Yo, if you don't even have to say it out loud. As soon as somebody come and you say this shit don't even make no sense, right? I'm good. I'm fasting. So
Mm,
my point is, if you ask about how to tap into a power, literally fast for
right.
3 days, 6 days, 9 days, and you do this often. Don't
Mhm.
just do it one time. Do it often, and you're gonna train your will.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? It take willpower to ignore the shit out of somebody with all this peer pressure, all this other stuff.
yeah,
Go ahead. I'm listening.
it does. Weed, marijuana. I personally smoke weed. I
You say
really
you don't or you do?
now I smoke weed, but every once in a while I will hit the blunt, social smoker type stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a way of self sabotage and a way of an excuse to
Mm.
not goals, because instead of sitting there bored or sitting there thinking about a master plan, you decide to roll up, smoke, and just forget about everything.
Yeah.
So, what is your opinion on weed? Is it totally bad? Should we obliterate it totally, or is it? I mean, some people need,
Okay, what do you mean we say some people need it?
like, for glaucoma or
Okay.
insomnia, stuff like that.
For medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. You and I both know that's not why people smoke it. Same thing you just said. So you're right. Some people do need it, and some people take it without smoking it for medicinal purposes. I understand that. With a lot of stuff is like that. Some people need certain types of foods, okay, because of what they need for their diet. What I would say, I don't really have an opinion on it. What I would say is, I know we don't need it because I don't use it. So with me being I'm very what they call mentally agile. I have a sharp mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like this on here, but in person it's sharper. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And everybody that been around me, they know that. So I don't get that from smoking. People say I'm smoking to get high. I'm raising my frequency. No, you're not. When you smoke, you slow down, literally.
Yeah,
You
literally.
walk in a room full of high people, ain't not a one high frequency person in there. Everybody laid out.
Yeah.
Everything's funny. That's the highest frequency you're gonna get is niggas laughter.
For
Right?
real.
Now
Have
you
a good
hungry, so good
time
luck with
laughing.
fasting. Go ahead.
I said that's why people take it. It's like a social thing. It's like you the only one in a crowd in a group that's not smoking. It's just like you don't want to laugh with us. Like,
No, but what's funny? It's only a weed funny. It's
life.
not real funny. That's what it's a different. There go your different dimension. When
Yeah.
niggas smoking this other stuff, that's when the couch is just funny. Say, nigga, you ever notice that? There's like everybody notices except you. Like, what the fuck? You talking about we had this couch for 5 years. But that's my thing. It's the same thing with shrooms.
Right.
People take the shrooms and they're trying to escape. And they swear, oh, I'm raising my frequency. Well, then do it without the shrooms.
With shrooms, right? It's
Go
like
ahead.
you're escaping the matrix or whatever. You're distancing yourself from your persona,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like you can get to the point where you're just too tapped out of reality. You're too woke. You're too to the point where you're not getting shit done. You just talking about all these goddamn philosophies and everything's fake. It's a matrix. Like, what the hell is that gonna do besides make y'all look crazy? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you walking across this river, I see a purple river. Nigga, that's the street. Come back, because at
that.
one point in time it can become harmful, and I've experienced this. Is why I know one of my literal biological brothers on my father's side was at my house in like 2022, and he was like, "Yo, man, I just want to know if you will watch over me while I do these shrooms. I'm about to be in the backyard. Just want you to look over me." I said, "I will not do that. I won't accept the responsibility because people have literally lost their mind and have what's called a bad trip."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and a bad trip can come from a thought that you had when you were 5, and the shit show back up because you unlocking shit that wasn't even really supposed to be unlocked, or place a certain position for a reason, and you're moving it around. How about this? Breathe deep. That way, listen. Same way with weed. You say you're the social smoker, so you know this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, "All right, I'm done being high." You got to let the trip play out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but if you take a deep breath right now, you're not going to become inebriated. You're not going to be under the influence. As if anything, and go research this so you don't think I'm just saying stuff. When you
Right.
take deep breaths, you activate your frontal lobe. So
Uh,
you become more of a critical thinker.
mm-hmm.
You ever know the people say when you get upset and you amped up and they say, yo, just woosah,
Yeah. Breathe. Woosah.
breathe.
Yeah.
It literally it switches between your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system activation, because certain systems not supposed to be active, right? For no reason. Like if you getting amped up and you paranoid and you got that fight, flight, or freeze shit popping up in you,
Mm-hmm.
blood is rushing to your arms and to your legs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because you're supposed to be getting physically active. I could tell you an idea, and if it has impact enough, especially in today's day and age where everything is idea, idea, idea,
Right.
you'll start fretting as if you really do need to do something physically, but you don't do anything physically, so that energy is misplaced.
Yeah, it's just sitting there like, where does it go? Where does all
What do I do?
yeah.
You see? So you take that deep breath, you can regulate that.
Mm-hmm. That
You
makes
don't
sense.
need the weed. And then you're doing it anyway when you take in the puff. And then
Yeah,
only thing is your mouth
you know what?
breathing.
I think that's why a lot of people think they need to smoke weed because you're
Mm.
finally that And it's like but it's mixed in with tobacco, so it's like
There
you
you
get
go.
those deep breaths, but you're also under the
They're trying to cheat the game.
yeah.
And another thing is mouth breathing wouldn't be the way. It'll really be nose or nostril breathing, nasal breathing that will have the strongest, most healthy effect.
Mm-hmm,
And I'm
mm-hmm.
telling you, I apply all of this. So I'm not just saying it. I've smoked before, hypothetically. I say hypothetically, soon we hit the web.
Sure.
I've smoked before. The
Yeah.
first time I hypothetically smoked was in 2019. Maybe 5 times, 6, 7 times in my life. But the first time was 2019 with a sister, literally one of the sisters out of their community. They were smoking, do it out of there. And I was high for 24 hours. That's how I knew it went for me.
Yeah.
Because, and I got offended because I'm in this girl living room and 2 hours done passed by. I'm realizing I'm walking around in circles. I'm looking at my hands, observing stuff that don't need to be observed. And she telling me to calm down. I didn't even know I wasn't calm. So now I'm more paranoid and then all this other stuff. And then I got offended because she was rolling up again. 2 hours past, I said, wait a minute, what are you doing? she like, I'm rolling another blunt. What are you talking? It's still not on you? What is this still? And then I knew it was real when I went into her kitchen and I got a pot of rice. I didn't put it on a bowl, plate, nothing. And I was sitting on her couch with a pot of rice and a spoon. I said, this ain't for me. This isn't my thing.
Oh hell nah! You was smoking a little bit more than weed, cause what the
But
fuck?
then how was she immune? That's what I'm saying. See, that's why I don't understand. Is what make me offended. Like, how was she still? Why was she not on the same thing?
Right? You
Because
see me over here looking up, and you trying to put me to sleep. You trying to put me out,
like,
bitch.
why are you doing it again? Now you want to kill me. That's all I'm thinking. I start getting in defense mode. Like, now you want me dead. Because there's no way you telling me to hit this again. By the time I got to the house, that's why I say I was high for 24 hours. When I sat on a rock outside of my apartment complex, it's 2019, and I felt the rock breathe, it went, yeah,
You
yeah.
got powers. That's your powers coming.
See? That's why I don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's not time yet. I need to wait for another December time to come around before I activate that shit.
Do you know who Yaki Awakened is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
The food herbalist. He was
Yeah.
saying rooms one time, and like the grass was like screaming at him, telling him to come asking him to save us. Like we just been abused, and like all the plants, trees, like they're talking to him. Um, so I don't know how you feel about Yaki Awakening. I
That
personally,
sound about right, by the way. Because
yeah.
listen, if we could have if we had the planet rotating, I could feel the planet rotating. I was talking to extraterrestrials on the side of the planet. They were talking about whether or not they were going to destroy this planet within a certain amount of time and all this other stuff. I don't know how I got in a conversation. If that can happen from one blunt and I didn't even smoke the whole thing, I don't need to be touching shrooms. How I feel about Yaki Awaken? What I feel about Yaki Awaken is less of a feeling, it's more of an observation.
Mm-hmm.
I think Yaki get a lot of unnecessary hatred. And
Yeah.
I think the reason why he gets a lot of unnecessary hatred is because when he opens up his mouth to speak about the things that he speaks about, people don't have the knowledge basis to refute him or debunk him.
Right.
They don't even know what he's saying. He's
Right.
talking about the body. Most times he's talking about things that if people look into it, they can really be helpful. When he starts going esoteric and all that other stuff, I'd be like, I'm good, I'm fasting.
Yeah.
That's what I would advise people to do. When he starts saying stuff about the extraterrestrials and also he don't know nothing about, or whether or not we should be drinking water because our neck ain't long enough, that I think you should be, I'm good, I'm fasting. But if you talking about like the adrenal glands and you know what I'm saying, fasting and taking care of this and stay away from certain things, carcinogens and all that stuff, all that, okay, I think that people can take the information that he puts out and look into it and see whether or not it fits them. If he puts you on a diet and it's all grapes, right, to help you detox and
Mhm.
and you try it and it works, okay, then he was a good teacher that can, at least that one thing he gave you help. Again, I think he get a lot of unnecessary, and I know why, because I relate to it. When you intelligent enough to, even if it's just intelligent enough to retain information, to regurgitate it and make it make sense and it's applicable, he
Right.
gonna get hate. So I don't really be targeting Yaki, other than the fact that he be trying to put himself in that master teacher seat of all this cosmos shit. Everybody using the same marketing that
Mhm.
is cosmic, is
So,
spiritual,
and
da
he's
da da
the
da.
and that takes his expertise, and then he's just bringing in a little bit of spirituality in it too, and
Yeah,
he's dabbling in two fields, and he don't know that much about spirituality to make that his, you
no,
know,
no,
point.
because listen, if you put me and Yaki on the stage to debate spirituality, I will unravel that boy. Now, if you put
I
Yaki and I,
hate to see that.
oh, I'm sure you would. Damn near the whole community would, and they would pay to see Yaki get unraveled.
Hmm.
Now, if you put me on stage to debate Yaki in the fields of expertise that he's taken hours and hours in daily, he will unravel me.
Hmm.
You understand that? So we don't need Yaki esoteric. We need Yaki to be the scientist that he is.
The herbalist.
That's
Yeah.
it. And I'm not saying that's it, like to limit him.
Yeah.
That's a useful thing.
Hmm.
It's helpful to the communities.
I totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about feminism real quick. I feel
Okay.
like feminism nowadays is it started from a cause of giving women more rights,
Mm-hmm.
giving women more freedom, but on the other hand, like women moms are overworked because they feel like they have to go at 9 to 5, still take care of their children and
Mm-hmm.
do everything. You have to play both roles,
Right.
also emasculating men because
Mm-hmm.
women are on the ideology that hey, we don't need men like we used.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm just trying to find a healthy balance between the feminists and the non-feminists in a way. Do you have any perspective on that?
Well, first of all, I'm honored that you asked me that because that's far beyond my realm of existence, even as a being. So I'm honored that you would even think that I was worthy of answering that question. From my observation, because that's the only way I can offer this, I'm a man. From
Mm-hmm.
my observation, the feminists make it harder on themselves based off of their individual encounters with men.
Yeah.
Now, that's not necessarily a negative resolve that you would take the harder route because of your assertion or your experience with these people. What I
Right.
would say is the same way I would say to the brothers, when you're working on you, really working on you,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Taking accountability for what it is you do and who it is you are based off of those actions.
Right.
What I see can happen for anybody, including those who are feminists or trying to figure out whether or not they should lean left or right, is you start attracting based off of where you will be at in life, literally, physically, mentally. You start attracting things that are more favorable.
Mm-hmm.
So the men where you don't have to feel like you make the statement of I don't need a man. It's not even that you don't need a man because if it comes down to reproduction, you will,
You do.
right? Unless you are leaning toward the lesbian side or any other sexual orientations, when it
Right.
comes to companionship, you will. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I think it's more so of a disappointment, and I think the disappointment is warranted. That the women are disappointed that we didn't live up to the things that we said we were going to be. The men, I
And
feel like the women are disappointed in our lack of leadership role that we claim that we have, but we never showed it. Especially when it comes to all the spiritual stuff we're talking about, we want to be black guys, but we never showed that. We never put our foot forward to show what a God would even be in maintaining and having the resources, taking care of the village and community. I think it's disappointment that when the women want to have friendship with a man, the man isn't interested in the friendship, but he lies and says he is.
mm-hmm.
Right? I
Yeah.
think it's disappointment that when a woman meets a man and he's put it on and she thinks he's all this other stuff, and then eventually when he gets what he wants, it's no longer that. I think it's disappointment where the woman can't get no help from the men in the community unless the men in the community that want to help them are allowed to sleep with them. I think that's disappointment. I think it's disappointment that the women want to dress a certain way and they dress nice and they really looked at themselves that day and said, I look nice. And then they got called a skank or this, that, and the third when they went out by the men. I think that's disappointing, especially when they passed by the Hebrew Israelites and they getting called a Jezebel, and they just felt good that day about themselves, and now they feeling another way by some of the strongest brothers who supposed to be some of the strongest brothers tearing them down. I could go on and on. From the man's seat, it appears that y'all are disappointed in us, and I think that y'all are making rational decisions based off of that disappointment, and I'm feeling that y'all are also making irrational decisions based off of that disappointment. So my best advice, if it's what you're asking for, or my best statement on that would be keep working on, it's Elisa, right?
Yeah.
Keep working on Elisa,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whether that's finances, whether that's what you're doing now, where you got your new studio set up, all of that,
Mm-hmm. My
keep
part.
doing that because and then have the mind and the mentality to take accountability because if you see somebody approaching you on your way up, you have to know whether or not they're approaching you because you're on your way up, whether or not they're approaching you because they're on their way up and they see you on your way up and they want to walk with you, or whether or
Right.
not they're approaching you to help you or whether or not they're approaching you to pull you down.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
That
I'm
is
telling you this. Now, I'm married now. I'm telling you this. As a man in my seat, we exist. Okay?
good.
It's hard to find us because we got our own things and everybody spread out. But we exist. It might be three of us, but we do exist even if it's three.
Right.
Okay? Where we see you for you. We see what you're going through. We hear you. And then I'm 26, so I'm not as much of a man as I will be 4 years from now.
Right.
You get me? So you may run
Right.
into a man who's still learning what it means to become a man. So then you'll have to activate your discernment of, can I see that he's putting his effort forth? Or
Trying.
do I want him to be 45 perfect credit score right now?
Or am I willing to wait that long? Because a
There
lot
you
of
go.
are dating older
Mm-hmm.
because men, I'm 27, men my age, I dated another 27-year-old with the mind that I
Right.
have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and a lot of it, and I just love everything you said because I
Okay.
think,
Because you want, can I say something real quick before you?
yeah,
I'm glad you said that because in my mind, I'm like, did I even say something? Because you asked me a difficult, you asked me a difficult question. So thank you for clearing it up for me. Go ahead.
no, I love everything you said, and I was going to
Mm-hmm.
talk about that because I do think feminism does stem from disappointment and hurt that we have from these men who keep hurting over and over and over and stepping on us. So it's like at this point we're just like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna go do it and I'm gonna wait for y'all to figure out how to treat me. And we'll see. That's the kind of mentality that I think a lot of have nowadays. So it's to me it's I think it's more so on the men right now than ever to figure out what their role is, their family, and execute that to the best way possible. Because a woman wants to be submissive, a woman wants to be led, a woman does not want to lead, but strong women will not be led by a weak man.
I agree with you. And people get upset when the brothers agree with y'all when y'all say stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. And okay, let me tell you this. There are a lot of brothers that will stand up and say, well, you're not talking about me, and there we still some good men out here, da 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 da. That's unnecessary. When y'all are telling us about your experiences with men, is more of an intuitive standpoint that y'all are taking. Y'all look at it more of a collective than just the individual, even though it does come from individual experiences.
Right.
I respect that because it's a smart resolve. It's an
Yeah.
intelligent resolve that if you're not going to help me do this, then I'll just do it myself. If y'all ain't going to stand up and take on your leadership roles that y'all saying out of your mouth you want to have, then I'm just going to. It makes sense to me. So I agree with you. I feel like, and I said that I wrote a book called, How to Love Again,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh,
And in the book, How to Love, yeah, and I'll get it to you. In the book, How to Love Again, I explained that, especially with like the Megan Stallion, Tory Lanez, all that stuff that was going on that caused those gender wars and the podcasting and red pill men and people calling the women the 304s and all of that whole wave and all of that.
right.
The brothers didn't have to get involved in that. We didn't have to get involved in that. When the
Right.
women were saying protect black women, we didn't have to come up with a counter argument.
Right.
That was our fault. Go ahead.
When that stuff with Meg the Stallion happened, when I watched her documentary,
Mm-hmm.
it's shocking how many black podcasters just had to put their 2 cents in on some shit for
Yeah.
a situation that they don't even have all the details on.
There you
It's
go.
like y'all are not y'all, but like the black community or just men in general are
Mm-hmm.
on some like a group like a man cult where it's like they just stick
Yeah.
together no matter what, and it's just like in the long run, y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
look at videos like, wow, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So,
And see, I think a lot of that came from the industry too. Because
mhm.
at one point in time, y'all had the diamonds. Remember the diamonds? The diamonds was the girl's best friend.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
ain't had the diamonds, but now we got the diamonds. Y'all was into
Y'all
the fashion.
got the flowers, y'all got
We
everything.
got the boots that go up to our knees. I'm saying we wanted to be y'all. That's the problem. And people will complain and say men are being emasculated. No, niggas is choosing emasculation. Niggas is choosing to be more effeminate. When you got brothers, okay, I'm gonna speak on myself. If I see Kid Cudi in a dress on stage, I don't have to make a post saying they're emasculating black men. No, that's Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi put on the dress. It don't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
If I see niggas go and do a podcast and they want to bring on OnlyFans girls just to try to make them look dumb, I don't have to do the same thing as those niggas. That's an insecure standpoint for one. If you're not going to bring those girls on there to transform them and change their life, what's the purpose of you bringing them on there? Most
Right.
of the time, the girls is richer than them. The
Mm-hmm.
men don't like how easy it is for women to make money because then you become the breadwinners. So then
Yeah.
you don't need us no more. Man, we could literally do a whole segment
We could.
on just this whole thing. You see what I'm saying? My main point is I'm not agreeing with you just because we're on here.
Right.
I'm saying I've agreed with this since I was younger, just watching. If we ever had the upper hand, that's the point. So if we lost the upper hand, right, then we would need to get that upper hand back. We can't be upset about who got the upper hand. We do have to make better decisions, more solid decisions based on where we want to go. We can't be trying to compete with the women being women.
Yeah.
Women are going to out women us. Another issue, last issue I'll speak on when it comes to that, is what I've observed from men growing up and seeing it in the communities is we get nervous when y'all start becoming us because y'all are more of a us than we are.
Mm.
You ever heard two
Yeah.
two people can play that game?
Yep.
No. Y'all got extra people that come with y'all. It don't just be two people. Y'all, you say, I'll be right back. And y'all bring like 5 more players. It's not fair. When y'all strike back, we don't know how to calculate that. So it's different. The brother can go out and listen, Offset, nobody was bashing Offset. Maybe the women were probably standing up for Cardi. But
Yeah.
when Offset was running around, he got H's all over the city, woo, woo, all over
Was nobody,
international women. Nobody called him out. What'd you say?
I said, wasn't nobody saying nothing about
Nobody
him.
said nothing. Cardi B take one picture and she's a hoe.
That's what I'm saying. That
You
is what.
see? She said she fed up with it. She gonna move on with her life. She's a hoe. She got to be a hoe now, even though she held it down for however long she held it down. Right? She
Kids
had the
with
children.
the
She doing the
man.
mom thing. Go ahead.
I said she got kids with the man.
Doing the thing that people would normally salute. Taking care of a child, staying in the family, keeping it home. But then she every time she making the music, y'all were hearing the music. He cheated on me again. He cheated on me again, part 2. Another time, you're gonna lose your wife. He loses his wife. She moves on, and everybody bashing her. But the thing is, people, you got to know this. There are men who get off on abusing women, even if it's just verbally, right? I don't know why, but it's a twisted species of men that
Yeah.
get off on that. Is a type of being that get off on abuse. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll like to try to tear somebody down in any way, even if they think their comment got to you. That helps them. They get a rush out of that. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I say just if the sisters will work on them. Spiritual community, I was just talking to the women. I said, yo, close your legs. Not that I'm telling you what to do. I'm saying if you do it, watch what happens.
Yeah.
Y'all stop entertaining these men who act like they got this shit under control. They don't want to hear what y'all got to say, all this other stuff. Stop entertaining them. Take the water away. Literally, figuratively, metaphorically, allegorically, take the water away. And then you'll see if they love each other that much, let them have each other.
Right.
Y'all don't get love in these communities. It's bros before hoes, all that. Let the bros have each other then. And the
Mm-hmm.
women, y'all start building and moving, or take away your water from that community and take it to communities of men that are going to appreciate you
Yeah.
and love you and not let you run over them. I got to say that part. Because sometimes women be wanting niggas that's going to let them run over them. Then the nigga let you run over him. Then you don't want the nigga no more.
When I know firsthand if I'll get into a relationship with someone, any woman is going to test the boundaries of that man. Any woman is going to test just to see
Come
how far
on.
I run over that. So if
You
that
see
man
how
run over him, then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. She
you
have all
see how wise that is, what you just said? Right? This is why I could tell where you're going, not even where you've been.
mm-hmm.
You have the ability to just and it's not even just you. It may be most women. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
know that about yourselves. Few men know y'all do that because we just experience this shit going wherever we go.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
don't
know
know why y'all
exactly
act how y'all
like
act. We don't understand it.
but if a man can sit back and be like, hold on, look from the outside in, like I understand,
Yes.
baby girl, but we not gonna do that type shit. Like,
Yes. And see, the
how we
thing is,
going.
y'all ain't gonna tell us, oh, that was a test.
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural thing. That's wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So, man, it's crazy because it's just we were brought up wrong too, y'all. We were raised up. Y'all are objects. You don't have feelings. Uh, we were raised up. Make sure you keep a lot of them, run through a lot of them, go experience as many as you do, many as you can. We were raised up wrong. So by the time a lot of these men maybe do want to do better, they used to certain behaviors, not making excuses for them. They just used to it. So the big thing, the wisdom of what you just said is y'all keep doing that. Keep testing. And when you get the answer, don't try to ignore it.
Yeah, don't ignore that red flag.
Don't ignore it because it's going to be telling. And there's always someone that will appreciate love, is what I say, not appreciate love, what it is you're bringing. Just make sure, I have to say this now, because if I don't, then people will get the wrong idea.
Right.
Just like I said, make sure, okay, you meet a man that's ready and appreciate loves you, takes you in for who you are and wants to grow with you. Make sure you don't try to abuse him. Make
And
sure you don't test him into, go ahead.
make sure you also love him back,
There
because
you
there
go.
are men who want to do everything for you,
Mm-hmm.
give you that, but if you genuinely don't love that man,
Yeah.
there's something gonna go wrong. And that goes into, should we be dating for love, or should we be dating as like a business trend? Like,
Mm.
you know.
Okay, so I got to say this. This is my best interview. We with the interview we did before. I love that interview also. This interview right here, probably the best interview, the best questions I ever received, the hardest questions I ever received.
Thank you.
Uh, and I like that because it's a challenge.
Hmm.
What I would say is both, and maybe more, because we don't even what is love. There's so much that comes into that. What I would say based off those two, do both. You date for love, companionship. You date for love for somebody to care for you, you to care for them. You date for love for someone to share life with, share your life with, right? And you date because you understand that y'all are on business and
Right.
you're gonna have a partnership. You should have some type of business, even if your family business together is you opened up a bakery. So what? Take that until you're 75 years old,
Yeah.
and y'all let that be your life. If that's what y'all enjoy, if you want to go skiing and travel the world, do that together. So it has to be both in order for it to work. I'm telling you this, with my wife, it's both, or it would not have worked.
Right. Yeah.
We had to have business about ourselves and
Hmm.
where we're going. And I had to lead in a lot of ways, and she led in a lot of ways. A lot of brothers got to be able to understand we're not going to always lead. You
Hmm. Yeah.
understand? There are going to be certain things that only a woman can lead in.
Yeah.
You understand? So we did both. We still date.
Hmm.
We dated with love and care, looking for this. We talked about that, where we were going. It may not be everybody talk about this perfect thing. It may not be the perfect thing, as in there were no hiccups. But
Hmm.
one thing we're not dealing with is infidelity. One thing we're not dealing with, and again, that's only to my knowledge. You understand that? Not to discredit
Right.
anybody, but to
Right.
my knowledge, on my part. You
Hmm.
understand? We're not dealing with people stepping out and bringing back stuff home, and you know what I mean, all this stuff.
That's
We
a whole
sticking
nother
together,
world, you know.
or living double lives. I've heard a lot of people complaining about that lately. This ain't
Yeah.
no double life thing. So you get the business understood about it. You
Hmm.
get why you want to be in a relationship with someone understood about. You comprehend that together. Make
Hmm.
sure that it's mutual, even to the degree of just the foundation, because then you might have different what people call ulterior motives. Just
Hmm.
make sure that foundation is understood or comprehended, because then y'all be able to move forward regardless. And even if y'all do have to go out on different ventures, you're still like this because y'all know what it is.
The
So
goal, y'all still got that shared goal.
I would tell you both. I'm looking at you. I would tell you both. I'm not saying that you needed my answer for you individually. I would tell you and anybody that's listening both. Take both of those and walk that walk and be ready, because people, especially in today's day and age, they can wish wash like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be there and then they and I'm not talking about just hot, cold moments, because people have their feelings and they can change. I'm talking about you might have somebody all in love with you, ready for the wedding, and then they dip out.
Hmm.
Or you might got somebody that don't know, they're confused about their feelings, they still stuck on this ex, da da da, and then eventually one day it just clicks. And they
Yeah.
like, I want to be with you.
Hmm.
You see? So your business, if this is one of your businesses, not even just your business, your passion,
Hmm.
you keep that first, regardless of who come around, because that's what I did. You
Hmm.
keep, regardless of who come around, your passion is first. And if your passion coming first offends them, that's not yours. That ain't for you.
It's not for you.
They should be so busy in their passion. Y'all competing
Hmm.
for who more passionate about growing. That should be the only competition, and they're growing together.
I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And I cannot thank you enough for this today.
Thank you. Yeah.
This you way longer than I expected.
Hmm.
That's the thing because we talked about so many important things that I think both of our audience here.
Hmm.
I do always ask for one last final cheat code so I can my audience or my channel Women Cheat Codes.
Hmm.
Do you have one last final gem you can
One last final gem to give.
give?
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to women's. You said women's cheat codes or women.
Women Cheat Codes.
Women cheat codes. Shout out to women cheat codes, and thank you for having me. Like I said, this is my favorite interview so far. Any interview I've ever done.
Thank you.
Uh, hmm. One final cheat code would be hmm, always be ready to reform yourself,
To reinvent yourself.
reinvent, recreate, reform, transform. Always be ready because somebody may bring you something that unnerves you,
Mm-hmm.
and they did you a favor. They started the process of your transformation. If you reverse that, you'll just go back to being whatever it was you were, and you won't experience the gems and the benefits of that metamorphosis.
Hmm.
So always be ready for that. Literally always,
Always be
because
a curveball because it could come in a good or a bad way, but it's still a curve that you need to make to
yeah,
move life different.
you want to know why? Because all that is you are bringing your conscious self to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is, since we started this conversation to now, you and I have changed a lot.
Yeah.
Literally, physically, we had cells that we came in here with, and we don't have those cells anymore. They died off. New cells have been born. Right? We aged. You know what I mean? In some senses, we got younger. You hear me? Our thought processes may have changed a little bit. You
Mm-hmm.
with me?
Yeah.
There's transformation that is taking place. So I would say you being always prepared to transform whenever, however necessary, is you bringing your conscious self one step closer to the truth of reality that there's always something changing, especially in you.
Okay.
That way, no matter who it is you encounter, if somebody tests you, you say, it may be change. It may be another time for me to bring myself to the reality of change.
Hmm.
You won't be moved in the sense of displaced. You'll be moved in the sense of this makes sense that I need to move.
Right. Well, thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was amazing.
Hmm.
And thank you. Peace
I
and blessings.
love you.
And
Peace and
we
blessings.
thank you
All
so much.
right, next time. Thank you for having me.
Yes.